fast and is able to bite all of the Rangers except Wes, who is saved by Rancic. Rancic engages Venomark and corners him, but the mutations start up again before he can finish the job. Wes retrieves part of the serum that Rancic spilled and brings it to his father for mass production. His father, of course, sees it as a money-making opportunity, but produces more than enough of the serum, and Wes takes him back to heal the other Rangers. We also get to see some more good bits from Eric, who helps an old lady who's infected with the bite. After a Zord battle, Venomark is defeated. Back at Rancic's base, he enters his office to discover all of the vials of serum but one have been destroyed by Frax. Frax reveals that he's what remains of Dr. Ferrix.
We're both on the same side. Humans! Humans are our enemies!
Humans are your enemies! You thought you destroyed me when you destroyed my laboratory. Well, you almost did, but I survived. I was injured beyond hope, barely alive. With my life fading fast, there was only one way I knew to survive. I wouldn't have made it had I remained in my human form, so I rebuilt myself using the technology I pioneered. I transformed myself into one of the stupid robots you so despise, and I made a vow to one day get revenge. I've waited a long time for this day. I showed you kindness, and you showed me hatred. Well, today, the doctor is going to give you some of your own medicine.
Frax gleefully destroys the last vial of serum and escapes, Rancic in pursuit with Cyclobots and a monster. Of course, the Cyclobots have no desire to find him, and surprisingly, the future guy is watching them. Meanwhile, the changes in the timeline are starting to pile up, particularly the fact that the serum wasn't supposed to be invented for another 200 years. Wes volunteers to go retrieve it from his father's lab, but fails. Then again, I'm not sure how he planned to retrieve it all, since it's been widely distributed and mass-produced by the company, and stealing one case of it probably isn't enough. Frax, meanwhile, constructs a new lab and starts assembling a giant robot. Future Guy continues to watch. Learning of the lab creating the serum, Rancic heads in with a full attack force to retrieve it, walking through the Silver Guardians. Rancic starts to mutate differently as blades pop out of his arms. Well, I mean differently than usual when he pulls swords out of his bones. Mr. Collins spots Rancic taking the serum.
I know who you are. You're trying to destroy my son. If I'd known that serum could help you, I would have poured it down the drain myself. And now you want to protect your son, the Red Ranger. No, you don't fool me. I know for a fact that you threw him out of your life. That's right. I tried to plan my son's life, but he took charge of his own destiny, and I'll always be proud of him for doing it. Oh, how touching. The loving father.
Rancic gets away as Mr. Collins is taken to the hospital, Eric accompanying the ambulance. Back in the future, Future Guy grabs a Time Force uniform and heads into the past. And much to the shock and amazement of the Rangers...
History's already shifted. And I'm here to set it back on track.
Alex?
Alex says there isn't much time to explain, though he does say that he barely survived the fight with Rancic. He leads the team to a time ship while Mr. Collins is operated on in the emergency room. Alex decides that the first order of business is to be a jerk.
Your actions here have caused history to be altered. And now these shifts are beginning to affect the future.
How has the future been changed?
I can't tell you.
He tells them about Frax and then says he's taking over as the Red Ranger. What's more, Wes's destiny is to take over his father's company.
Wes's destiny is to take over his father's company, Biolab. Well, maybe it was. But the future isn't written in stone. We each make our own destiny. Wrong. Everything you've done up till now, I've allowed to happen. I've tried to keep history from being altered. But Frax's robot is too powerful. I had to come in person. You'll fulfill your destiny and take over Biolab. Because your father will die tomorrow.
Eric calls Wes and tells him about his father. Wes reluctantly surrenders the Red Ranger morpher and heads out to be with his father. Alex orders the Rangers back into their Time Force uniforms and berates them for wasting their time. Jen wants to know what's going on, but he says he needs to put aside his feelings for the moment since their mission is more important, but doesn't explain why he didn't tell Jen he was still alive. Alex leads them to a beach where something crashes into the water and the team summons their Megazords. Frax's robot emerges from the water and the Rangers engage it. Wes takes over his father's company and attends a board meeting, much to Eric's irritation. Eric heads out of the board meeting to help the Rangers, launching the Q-Rex against the robot. While the robot is powerful, it withdraws when the Q-Rex manages to partially damage it. While Eric decides to leave the city, for undisclosed reasons, the scientist who was in the room when Rancic shot his father tells Wes about how proud his father is of him for choosing his own path. As Frax's robot drains the Megazord's power, Wes walks out of his limo and heads to the clock tower. Frax uses a device to drain the Rangers' power, and Circuit arrives to help, but is blasted. Circuit makes it back to the clock tower and tells Wes about what happened before shutting off.
I choose my own destiny. Right now, I choose to help my friends.
The others finally confront Alex about his behavior.
Come on! Get up and fight! Don't you care? The future is depending on you. I've had enough. Lucas! What are you doing? You're the one who doesn't care about the future. If you did, you wouldn't have taken Wes's morpher. The team is strongest this way.
No! We're strongest with Wes. If you were a real leader, you'd see that.
Before Frax can blast them, Wes tackles him and takes out the device that was draining their power. Alex gives up the chronomorpher to Wes, and the Rangers remorph to fight the robot. Alex, in the meantime, goes to Mr. Collins and uses a device to heal him. Eric, passing by in his taxi, sees the Rangers fighting the robot and runs to join them. The Rangers successfully defeat the robot, and Wes runs off to see his dad, Eric giving him a ride back to the hospital. With Mr. Collins recovered, the two talk for a bit.
I heard you took my place at the company while I was away.
Yeah, I did, but...
Listen, I can't tell you how much that meant to me, but son, I don't want you to be a businessman for my sake. No. For once, listen to your father. Your place is with the Rangers.
Alex decides to depart, apologizing for being a douche nozzle. This still begs the question of why, if they have a functioning time ship, they don't send reinforcements and equipment to help them, but hey, everyone parts on good terms, I guess. In a filler episode right afterwards, Jen admits something to herself.
I used to dream that one day, that would be Alex and me, but now I'm not so sure. Alex has changed so much, but so have I. Nowadays, Alex isn't in my heart the way he used to be.
Yeah, I've been leaving it out, but essentially there's been some relationship building between Jen and Wes, who's equally interested in her. With Alex back in the future, he sends new toys for kids to buy, including the Stratocycle. Following that filler, there's another filler involving a time-traveling Black Knight. Its significance is that he holds a mystic box that Wes is able to open and claim its power, becoming the Red Battle Warrior. Yep, it's Wes's battleizer, and for the first time, it doesn't look silly. No, except for the little flame wings in the back, but otherwise it's knight armor on top of the ranger suit. Following the filler, the next episode begins with a hand crawling out of the grave. And who should it be but Vipra? Last I remember, she was absorbed into Banshira and not buried, but hey, she is a demon. Hey, maybe in the intervening time someone taught her how to act.
The time has come for revenge.
Well, sometimes you work with what you got. Actually, to be perfectly honest, her acting is much improved, aside from a few moments, and the makeup is especially good, adding new demonic contact lenses. Vipra makes her way to the Silver Hills Museum and tries to retrieve a crystal from the glass.
Curses.
Damn, foiled by easily breakable glass. However, she tripped the silent alarm and the Silver Guardians arrive. Vipra easily takes out the Silver Guardians and teleports away.
I go where I want.
Vipra travels to Rancic and asks him to retrieve the solar amulet from the museum.
Soon, the sun will be in perfect alignment with the stars. The solar amulet will have the power to release Quardinal, a super demon.
The Rangers wait outside the museum and Rancic heads in. However, Vipra stops the Rangers from going in, having her forces fight them while Rancic retrieves the crystal. The Rangers are forced to demorph as they teleport away. However, a very familiar-looking Jeep pulls up to the Rangers.
You're gonna need my help.
And who are you?
Carter Grayson.
Carter Grayson. So guys, that was my reaction to Linkaras' history of Power Rangers Time Force Part 1 video. So please be sure to comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, press the notification bell to be notified about future videos, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.